Howdy everybody. Welcome to episode number 6 of Non-Scripted Ramblings. Because I'm pretty sure it's number 6. Yeah, well, today, it's movie number 3 in the Road to Infinity War. Yay! So we're going to talk about Iron Man 2. Yeah, I watched the trailer. Yeah, the trailer it's pretty stock standard. It's nothing too special. I mean, it kind of shows a lot of the movie. I mean, you know, you get glimpses of pretty much all the main characters doing their thing. There's also a scene in the trailer that's not in the movie, which is of Pepper kissing the Iron Man helmet, I guess, before he launches down off the plane to go into the Stark Expo. I think that's kind of what it is. And then she just throws it down and says, like, you know, go get him, boss, or whatever. That was not in the movie. I got cut out. But that, you know, happens a lot. Yeah, otherwise it's a fine trailer. Like, you know, it doesn't really show anything of Justin Hammer at all, but it shows, you know, it shows Whiplash doing his thing. Tony Stark being all, you know, I've successfully privatized world peace. Ooh. Yeah, because he's so arrogant now. Well, he's still arrogant, but because he's like, I don't know, big-headed, ego-wise after, you know, just kicking ass. But which is fine, it's fair enough. I mean, he's saving the world. It's great. Yeah, so pretty okay trailer. Not amazing, but fine. It was fine. Okay, so the movie itself is, definitely the weaker of the 3 Iron Man movies, I think it's fair to say. That, though, does not mean necessarily it's a bad movie. I don't think it's that bad. It's fine. It's enjoyable. It's funny. It's got lots of action, good character beats. You know, Robert Downey Jr. just nails it again, returning to the role of Tony Stark, Iron Man. And this is, you know, I love it because the movie starts with where we left off. So the movie starts with, you know, him giving his press conference saying, you know, that I am Iron Man. I thought that was a nice little way to link and remind the viewers, like, this is where we're at. This is what you missed previously on Iron Man, previously in the MCU. I thought that was pretty cool. And then also the first time you see Tony Stark, there's AC/DC again, same as with, the first movie, they were playing AC/DC. Back in Black, and then in this movie it's Shoot to Thrill, which is really cool as he makes his entrance into the Stark Expo. I loved it. I love that little connectivity there. Really, really cool. I guess Whiplash as a villain, he's played by Mickey Rourke. He's fine, like, he's good. I like the fact that, you know, he's motivated. Again, like a lot of things with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a lot of the villains are motivated by personal tragedies, and they're not all of them are kind of out to, you know, just open a portal in the sky, or just, you know, to destroy shit because they can. They all have these motivations based on things that have happened to them. A lot of them have lost family, and, you know, Vanko, played by Mickey Rourke, is no exception. His father, Anton Vanko, he worked with Howard Stark on creating the arc reactor, but he was disgraced and, so that whole thing was covered up. But I think Ivan's his name, Ivan Vanko. He was like, no, I'm not having this. I'm not having this at all. So then he decides to get his own against Tony Stark, considering he's figured out how to make the arc reactor work in such a way. Obviously, he's being kept alive by it, and it's powering the Iron Man suit, so he's not going to let that lie easily. The first time we see him in action as Whiplash is pretty cool on the Formula 1 track in Monaco. Very, very cool. That's intense. I love that scene too, because it's all like Pepper and Happy are trying to get to Tony to give him his suit so he can take him down, and just it's so funny watching their reactions to what's going on around them. It's quite amusing. And then Pepper's just like yelling at Tony from inside the car. It's so funny. So Whiplash is, he's cool, he's fine. I love the whole I want my bird. I want my bird is quite funny. He's a little pet cockatoo. Yes, which Justin Hammer does not bring to him. He brings him a fake, well, not a fake one, but, you know, a substitute one, because he doesn't get the real one, because he can't be bothered, because he doesn't care about shit, because he's not a great person. Justin Hammer is kind of reminds me of Jim Carrey's character, you know, Nigma, obviously, from Batman Forever, how, you know, he was just emulating, I mean, obviously that's more extreme in Batman Forever, but, like, he's emulating Tony, and similar stuff, like, you know, the glasses and the hair and the suits and everything, and he's trying to kind of imitate what Tony is, you know, he's doing with his Iron Man suit, so he can be more successful and have the, you know, the monopoly on the market, I guess, for the US government, so he can work for them. But yeah, Sam Rockwell plays him great. Like, Sam Rockwell, he's awesome in everything. Like, I don't think he's ever really given a bad performance in his life. That's impossible. But yeah, he's really fun in this. It's disappointing we haven't seen Justin Hammer back since, I think, because I mean, not that there's been anywhere that he could be used, I guess, but I would love to see him make a return at some point, just because, like I said, Sam Rockwell, amazing. He's a lot of fun. He's a good kind of little sniveling little weasel of a bad guy. Yeah, but he's in jail now, so he's probably never getting out. Yes. Okay, so this movie also saw the introduction of, well, proper introduction for those who didn't stick around for the end credits of Iron Man, Nick Fury. This is technically, I guess, his first appearance in the MCU, if you don't count that post-credit scene. But I do, so it's his second appearance. So yeah, we finally get to see him kind of face off with Tony, because Tony's going through a lot of shit in this movie, because the reactor that's keeping him alive is also killing him. So he's struggling with that throughout the whole film, and Fury pops up to be like, whoa, dude, settle down. I'm here to set you back on the right path. And he does, and it's really, really good. But yeah, Nick Fury is always a joy to watch, and he tells him the true story of Anton and Howard and all of that. Yeah, and then, you know, along with Nick Fury pops up Agent Phil Coulson. We get to see him briefly again as well, which is really, really cool. There's a really great moment where he picks up a prototype maybe of Cap's shield, and it's really, really cool. And then, you know, Tony's like, just put that under there. Good, the pipes are level now. It's great. Yeah, I thought that was really good. And then, you know, he gets a call away to New Mexico. I wonder what's in New Mexico. We'll get to that next week. Not next week, next time. Whenever this next video comes out. Yeah, so that's very cool. And yes, of course, we finally get the debut of Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, played so awesomely by Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, I feel like she gets better with the character as she goes along. This movie is fine, is really good. It's a good debut for her. The action stuff she gets to do, like that hallway scene with she's fighting all the guards and stuff, is so cool. It's so well choreographed and executed. It's fantastic. And then she takes down like 10 guys, and then we go back to Happy, and he's taken down one guy, and he's like, I did it! I took him down! And then she's just like, you know, he just looks up and sees the destruction she's left in her wake, and it's like, okay. I clearly don't know who this woman is. But she's badass. I love Scarlett as Natasha. Very, very, very good. Yes, what else do I need to say about this movie? There's a line, a funny thing that I think it happens is when they're, you know, he has that, court hearing, I guess, with, you know, all the government officials who want to take the suit away from him, and the late Gary Shandling plays a senator, Senator, it's not Stern, is it? I don't know, I'm probably wrong. Anyway, he plays a senator, and he just doesn't like Tony Stark very much, wants to take his suit away, but I love Tony in that scene, because he's just, you know, he's like, yes dear, giving him lots of tood, which is great. But yeah, then I think I don't know if it's in this scene, I think it might be in this scene, or if it's in a later scene, but he says, like, the suit and I are one. He's like, I am Iron Man, the suit and I are one, which is, you know, the first kind of beat of that we get throughout the MCU of Tony, you know, because obviously later when we get to Spider-Man Homecoming, he says to Peter, he's like, if you're nothing without this suit, then you don't deserve it. And that is character growth, people. Great character growth, great little character beats that they're building throughout this connected world. It's so good. I love it. Oh yeah, there's also the first little reference of like, he doesn't like be-handed things, which comes back in the Avengers, which I think is really cool. Oh yeah, how could I forget? Don Cheadle's first appearance as Rhodey. Awesome. You know, Terrence Howard who, like, it's fine. It worked out, guys. It worked out. I'm so happy. But I really like what they did, the nice little nod to the audience of the recasting, because the first time you see Rhodey, he walks into that same courtroom hearing scene I was just talking about. He walks in and he's like, you know, I'm here. It's me. I'm here. Deal with it. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Like, whatever he says, like, it's kind of like, that's the gist of it. But he's just like, you know, because he turns and you finally see that it's not Terrence Howard, it's Don Cheadle, and you're like, okay. And then he's like saying specifically, like, deal with it. This is me now. I'm here. But it's a nice little nod to the audience. I think it's really cool. Also, we finally get to see him suit up as War Machine for the first time. Yes. Yeah, super, super cool. Although, you know, obviously he's a bit conflicted throughout the movie because of his military allegiances, obviously, to the US government. And then, obviously, his friendship with Tony just comes under a lot of stress, a lot of fire, because Tony's not handling the fact that he's dying very, very well at all. And then they end up, you know, ruining his birthday party. Well, he ruins his birthday party by, like, getting drunk, peeing in his suit, and then, like, nearly killing all of his guests. And they get into this big brawl, which is quite good. Very entertaining to watch, but also kind of sad, because it's like, you know, they're best friends, and they shouldn't be fighting like this. It's very dangerous. But, you know, by the end of the film, obviously, Rhodey's by his side, and, you know, not fighting against him anymore, fighting with him. It's really, really good to see. There's an Elon Musk cameo in Monaco, which I never noticed at the time when I first watched this. This movie came out in 2010, and I had no idea who Elon Musk was, and, you know, Pepper and Tony actually meet him in Monaco before the whole Whiplash thing happens. And I was just like, and I'm watching it now, and I'm like, I know who he is, of course, because everyone knows who Elon Musk is now. You know, head of SpaceX and Tesla. So that was so random. Speaking of cameos, Stan Lee cameo. It's just another, right at the beginning of the film, it's at this Stark Expo, he gets mistaken for Larry King for some reason. Like, he kind of looks like him. They've kind of filmed the shot in a certain way that kind of changes, like, sort of how he looks. And he looks kind of like Larry King, because he's wearing, like, a shirt with suspenders and a tie, so they made him look very Larry-esque. So that's kind of like why Tony, like, mistakes him for Larry King, which is quite funny. So that's that cameo. Also, I like the fact that we get another reference to Avengers, and, you know, the post-credit scene in the first Iron Man movie with, you know, when Tony's like, I don't want to join your super secret boy band. Like, I'm not joining. Which I thought was, you know, which is cool. But also, you know, obviously a weird thing in regards to what I talked about last time about Incredible Hulk, when Tony Stark comes in at the end of the movie and says he's putting a team together to General Ross, but then now he's like, I'm not joining your team. And so it's like, what? Early little misstep, I think, for the MCU. But it was quickly, you know, kind of forgotten about. Didn't really matter. So that brings me to the end of the film, where we get a scene with Nick Fury again talking to Tony Stark, and they're discussing, you know, Natasha's report on him and whether or not he's viable to join the Avengers initiative that S.H.I.E.L.D. has, you know, gotten underway. And then, of course, you know, Tony Stark gets approved, but no, sorry, Tony Stark gets denied, but Iron Man gets approved, and he was like, well, you can't have one without the other. How does this work? So, you know, Fury just kind of says to him, you know, we're bringing you on as a consultant only at this stage, until, you know, such time things change and blah, 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 blah. And then obviously when the Avengers happens, things do change quite drastically. Yes. But yes, what else do I need to mention? Oh yeah, now, confirmed now, Peter Parker is in this movie. He's the little kid who Tony saves. At the end, he's wearing the Iron Man helmet, and one of the drones is coming at him, about to fire, and he holds up his hand like he's going to shoot him like Iron Man, and then Iron Man himself comes down and saves the kid, and he's like, nice work, kid, and then he flies off. And yeah, apparently, yeah, they've said now since that's actually Peter Parker. That was a long-standing fan theory that was confirmed, which is super cool. I like that quite a bit. What else do I need to mention? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so I think, yeah, the post-credit scene, I think, yeah, there was only one post-credit scene this time around. And it's a very important one because, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, Coulson got called away to New Mexico, the land of enchantment. So in this scene, we actually get a glimpse of him arriving in New Mexico and what he is arriving to, what his mission is. And then we get a little quick shot of Mjolnir for the first time in the MCU, and collective fanboys and girls lost their minds everywhere, because this was the first tease for Thor. We knew we were getting a Thor movie. It was confirmed. So that was really, really cool. And that's what we're going to talk about next time on Non-Scripted Ramblings. So I guess that's my Iron Man 2 review. Little catch up. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, if you haven't watched Iron Man 2, go watch it. It's, like I said, it's not terrible. It is the weak one of the three, but it's still fine. It's enjoyable. It's fun. Yeah, so next time we'll be talking about Thor. So I'm excited because he's my favorite. Cool. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I've been a Kendall Richardson, and you've just experienced Non-Scripted Ramblings. Bye.